So now we will welcome our first speaker of the Global Community Summit, our welcome guest, Dr. Emily Sylak Glassman. Dr. Sylak Glassman serves as the Program Manager / Deputy Director of the Applied Sciences Program in NASA's Earth Science Division, where she leads a broad portfolio of efforts to apply knowledge of Earth science to benefit people and the planet. She has also served as a Senior Policy Analyst for the Office of Technology, Policy, and Strategy, in which she provided data and evidence-driven advice to NASA leadership. Before joining NASA, Emily worked at the Science and Technology Policy Institute, in which she supported the White House Office of Science and Technology Policy. Emily holds a PhD in chemistry from UC Berkeley and a Bachelor of Science degree in chemistry and biology chemistry from the University of Chicago. With that, I'll hand it over to Emily.
Thank you so much. Thanks for that wonderful introduction. Apologies that the lighting via WebEx doesn't seem to be all that great. Hopefully it doesn't interfere too much. So it's a real pleasure to get to be here today. As was mentioned, I'm the program manager and / deputy director for the Applied Sciences program, which is the home within the Earth Science Division for the energy program area. I tend to think even within an agency with a pretty darn inspiring overall mission, that our specific mission to apply insights from Earth science to benefit the economy, health, quality of life, and environment around the globe is probably one of the best drivers to get out of bed and working. One of the things that makes our mission so exciting and challenging too is that we simply cannot accomplish it alone. If we sat at our desks developing our own insights from Earth science, it's pretty unlikely that we'd actually be able to benefit the economy, health, environment, etc. It's really only through working with people like you who can translate between the needs of decision makers and the latest Earth systems science research, or who can put this information into practice, both researchers and decision makers all together, that we're able to achieve impacts. Apologies for the pinging from my Teams. I'm going to quit that. So first off, on behalf of Lawrence Friedel, who's the director of the Applied Sciences program, and myself, I want to thank you for all of your work in helping us accomplish this mission together. We love following how you're using NASA Earth science information. We get updates regularly from the Langley Power team, and it's always a great pleasure of the job. I did want to talk a little bit about what's going on in the Applied Sciences program overall and in the Earth Science Division more broadly. Within the Applied Sciences program, it's been a big year for us. For many, many years, we had 5 application areas: agriculture, disasters, ecological forecasting, health and air quality, and water resources. However, this past year, as was shown in the slides, we added an additional 4 program elements: climate and resilience, energy, equity and environmental justice, and wildland fires. It's not to say that the Applied Sciences program did nothing in these areas. We certainly supported projects before. But these new program elements formalize and expand our work in these areas. It allows us to really focus on the special considerations for engaging with communities affected by environmental injustices, for communities experiencing the impacts of climate change, for communities impacted by wildland fires, and in the case of energy, really expanding our ability to address solar and meteorological information needs in the renewable energy, building energy efficiency, and agroclimatology sectors. From my perspective, it's been wonderful to see how our team at NASA headquarters has been so energized by having these new areas as core parts of our program. It's really given the team the ability to focus on achieving the impacts in these areas for which we've long known are important. I encourage you all to keep an eye out for events and opportunities available through these different program elements. So let's talk a little bit about power. Power is the cornerstone of our energy program element. We've been looking to power as a leader and a pathfinder for the Applied Sciences program, especially in engaging the private sector. Last August, we released our new strategic plan for applied sciences, and one of the 3 goals was focused on thriving partnerships and private sector ventures. Frankly, this goal is a big shift for much of our program because it involves expanding our connections with businesses, foundations, and nonprofit organizations, which has traditionally been challenging for some of our program areas. However, over the past 25 years, the Power team has become a critical, trusted source of freely available, accessible, high-quality, tailored solar and meteorological data for both public and private sector users. So we see a lot of potential for power to work strategically to reach even more users, and in doing so, bring back that knowledge to the rest of the applied sciences program and help us how to figure out how to expand our reach and work with partners across all of our application areas to achieve greater impacts. Since there are truly strengths that the private sector has that we as a government agency can only really achieve through those types of partnerships. In addition to the transition to focus an increased focus on private sector engagement, we're at an interesting transition time for the Earth Science Division as a whole. 3 spacecraft that have been the backbone of NASA's observing system, Terra, Aqua, and Aura, are nearing their end of life. They were a part of the NASA Earth Observing System, or EOS program, conceived in the 1980s and have provided really countless benefits since their launch. They have enough propellant to continue operating for a few years in drifting orbits, which means changes in mean local time and orbit altitude, but they won't be able to continue operations long past the middle of the decade. From an applied sciences perspective, we're going to be working to get feedback from users to find out if folks have been able to transition to using new data products from combinations of sensors from other satellites, and if not, why not? This will help NASA in its process of developing alternative data products or pointing users towards other non-NASA data products. We'll have a range of opportunities available for data users to provide feedback to NASA, so stay tuned. But as these spacecraft approach their end of life, we're also embarking on a new era of observations that's really exciting with the Earth System Observatory. The Earth System Observatory, or ESO as we've been calling it, will be a new set of observations focused to provide information to guide efforts related to climate change, disaster mitigation, fighting wildland fires, and improving real-time agricultural processes. So with the Earth System Observatory, each satellite will be uniquely designed to complement the others, working in tandem to create this holistic view of Earth from bedrock to atmosphere. We're thinking hard about how to bake in considerations like open source science, applications, research, technology connections, and very importantly, diversity and inclusion. So we're going to have outreach opportunities to get feedback from the community on our approach. Finally, I did want to highlight a few ways for you or students or collaborators or colleagues to get involved in additional work across applied sciences. One is through our early adopter programs. These are programs that are designed to help decision makers get ready for new satellite observations. With a number of upcoming missions that are highly relevant to a range of stakeholders, it's an exciting time to get involved on the mission side of NASA, especially if you haven't done so before. Additionally, if you know of students or other early career folks who want to get involved in applying Earth science to meet community challenges, I recommend having them check out the DEVELOP program, which pairs participants and partner organizations to solve diverse environmental issues. So that really wraps up my remarks here. I wanted to provide a minute or two for questions before we hand things back over to the very capable hands of the power team. Thanks.